Hi everyone, Peter Liciaga here, and I'm actually mowing my lawn. And I was thinking while I was mowing my lawn how we have as parents and as professionals that we a lot of times have to manage a lot of different things, from our household to our kids to our work, and so that's a lot of things to manage. And sometimes, you know, all this stuff that we're doing, all our responsibilities, all the things that we have to stay on top of, it goes into, let's say, builds up the stress. So a lot of times I look at my stress as water being put into a bucket. And I got this analogy from a good friend of mine about, you know, your bucket's going to get full, and so it's going to keep getting full as you have more responsibilities. Now, some people have buckets there, and it's full of water. See right there, the water coming out there, full of water. So some people have like little buckets, what I call a little bucket, okay, and they're managing little things, but they get that stress whether what size your bucket is. Some people have big buckets, and I have a big bucket, I think, because I not only am I a dad, but I also am a chief master instructor at Donato Karate Center, which we have over 400 students, and also I have small businesses that I run, and I know what it's like to have a business go under. I know what it's like to have a business succeed, and to have a business succeed, you have to take on a lot of stress, a lot of pressure, and you also got to hire people, so you take on their stress and their pressure. So a lot of times, this is what happens. We have two buckets, right? This is those people that I work with, people that I mentor, I coach, or I help out, maybe a staff member or maybe a colleague that has their bucket that's over full, right? That's ready to explode, and that you need to empty your bucket. And so here's my bucket. So with my clients, this is what I do, right? I allow them to take their bucket and pour it on me at times. They'll call me up and tell me their challenges, they're stressed out, or we'll talk about solutions. Sometimes I'm just there to be an ear for them, but they'll pour their stress into my bucket, and which is okay. I'm trained for that, and I can deal with that kind of stress. My bucket is big, okay, so I can take in that. So this is what happens when you take on a lot of other people's stress and concerns, and I'm there as a coach and a mentor, a teacher, you know, as a dad, as a husband, all this stress coming and being poured into my bucket. This is what happens when it gets poured into my bucket. Let me show you very quickly. So this is what happens. Someone comes to me and they're stressed out. Their bucket is basically full, and they are feeling the pressure, and they need someone to talk to. They need to empty their bucket, okay? And what they've done, they'll come to me, and this is what I'm trained for. They'll take their bucket, and then they'll pour into my bucket, which is okay because that's what I'm trained for. I got a bigger bucket, and I can take a lot of pressure, a lot of responsibilities, and I've been trained for that. So they'll keep pouring in the course of the day, and this is what starts to happen. Mine starts getting overflowing, too much pressure for me in my bucket. I cannot hold any more in my bucket. So this is what I do. I do exactly what they do. I call someone that is either a close friend or a mentor or a coach, someone that I know has a bigger bucket than I do, and that I can take my bucket and pour it into theirs. They can sit down with me, whether it's through Skype or whatever, phone call or in person, that I will take my bucket and I'll dump it into their bucket. And so that I could start over again with a emptier bucket, or just a completely empty bucket. Like I said, I'll take my bucket, and this is what happens here. I'll pour it into their bucket, and then I start off again with an empty bucket. So that's what works for me. Every morning I want to wake up, I want to make sure my bucket is empty, and in the course of the day, as it fills up, I will empty it maybe once or twice a day. By the end of the day, whatever's inside my bucket, I dump it out so that I could go to sleep and sleep soundly at night with an empty bucket, stress-free, no pressure. And that's what I do. So that's what I suggest you do. I suggest you go ahead and deal with the stress and the pressure. You cannot get rid of it. It'll make you stronger, and it'll make you more valuable to the people in your life as a parent and as a professional. And what you want to do is just make sure you are able to empty your bucket and empty your bucket. Okay? So other than that, I'm going to get back to mowing my lawn and enjoying the rest of my day. You enjoy your day too. Take care.